Batam wants to become Indonesia's next digital powerhouse, but land constraints and a shortage of skilled talent could slow that ambition. Izzah Aqilah Norman tells us more.
Batam was once known primarily for manufacturing, but the island now has ambitions to become Indonesia's next digital economy hub. It is experiencing rapid growth in tech-driven sectors, from data centers to digital education. Much of that transformation is concentrated here in Nongsa Digital Park, a special economic zone just 45 minutes from Singapore. The area has become a magnet for multinational companies and training institutions.
Memang kita menyiapkan ekosistem ini tersendiri, terintegrasi dalam sebuah kawasan tersendiri, dan ini tentu pasti menjadi daya tarik tersendiri bagi para investor. Memang letak Batam ini cukup strategis. Kita terkoneksi ke Singapura, ke Malaysia, dan jalur lalu lintas ya melalui jalur laut atau udara. Itu seluruh Indonesia itu bisa masuk dengan gampang.
Batam's information and communication sector now makes up over 4% of the city's economy, up from less than 3% in 2010. A major driver of this growth is the booming data center industry. More than a dozen of them are in various stages of development, with operators from Singapore, Hong Kong, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom.
Batam plays a strategic role in our vision, acting as an extension of Singapore. Singapore is an established data center market, but where companies need to scale their services with more capacity and more storage. Because of the super low latency between Singapore and Indonesia, that gives the possibility for Batam to serve Singapore with the right requirements as any data center in Singapore. So, for example, cloud services, content service provider, financial services, or any enterprises can use offshore capacity in Batam.
Batam's relatively low exposure to earthquakes and flooding also makes it a more resilient alternative to Jakarta. As of last year, data center investment had reached 11.4 trillion rupiah, or approximately $679 million. However, growth is not without its limits.
We want to grow, but we are limited by the amount of land we have. We're a private digital park, so of course the challenge is finding more land, finding the space for us to grow. I guess the challenge, of course, is keeping the environment, trying to protect the environment, because as you can see, our data centers sits right in front of a beautiful park, a forest before. We want to try to protect that as much as possible.
Another major challenge is talent. There's a mismatch between the workforce and industry needs. Semi-skilled labor is available, but shortages remain at higher levels. More than half of Batam's unemployed residents are high school graduates. Still, authorities are optimistic that the gap can be narrowed through targeted training and educational programs.
Our role is not only to educate talent, but also to bridging the gap within the talent, which is from the academia, from university, or even from the vocational high school. How can be accepted by industry, which is not local industry, because in a special economic zone here is basically international industries, right?
As Batam looks to a digital future, local leaders say deeper collaboration between government, industry and education will be key. For an island once defined by factories, its next chapter may very well be written in code. Izzah Aqilah Norman, CNA, Batam, Indonesia.